Welcome to the chase, where descent's a thrill. Ben and John are here, making time stand still. Diving deep, where others just pretend. They're your guides on this journey, chasing descent. Chasing descent, where truth's the quest. Ben and John won't give it a rest. In the maze of facts, they find their way, bringing the dawn of a clearer day. They laugh, they probe, they take no sides. Through rabbit holes, they take their strides. With wit and banter, they're heaven sent. Ben and John, chasing descent. So hit subscribe, don't be content. Join the chase, be omnipresent. With Ben and John, no time is misspent. On the trail with chasing descent. Chasing descent, where truth's the quest. Ben and John won't give it a rest. In a maze of facts, they find their way, bringing the dawn of a clearer day. Chasing descent, where truth's the quest. Ben and John won't give it a rest. In a maze of facts, they find a way, bringing the dawn of a clearer day. They laugh, they probe, they take no sides. Through rabbit holes, they take their strides. With wit and banter, they're heaven sent. Ben and John, chasing descent. So hit subscribe, don't be content. Join the chase, be omnipresent. With Ben and John, no time is misspent. On the trail with chasing descent. Chasing descent, where truth's the quest. Ben and John won't give it a rest. In a maze of facts, they find their way, bringing the dawn of a clearer day. Chasing descent, where truth's the quest. Ben and John won't give it a rest. In a maze of facts, they find a way, bringing the dawn of a clearer day. They laugh, they probe, they take no sides. Through rabbit holes, they take their strides. With wit and banter, they're heaven sent. Ben and John, chasing descent.
Hello. Tonight, I'm going to talk to you about the infection in social media that seems to be running rampant at the moment. But before we go on to that, I want to talk to you about groundhogs. Now, that might seem a bit random, but bear with me. I was, in fact, it's very random, to be fair. In fact, I was reading through some Twitter posts, and this guy said, other than a tutu, any advice on what to do with groundhogs, as my cats won't take them on, won't chase them off. And the replies are all fairly normal. Till I scroll down about, a page, just reading through the replies sometimes, as you do, sometimes you just do that sometimes, you catch a stream and you just read through it and think, why are people even replying to this, because with all the statutory stuff, get a terrier, get a shotgun, whatever. And then this one reply really caught my eye, and I thought, I'm boggled. I just don't know how someone comes up with that and what they actually mean, because the reply is quite simply, try predator urine. And I'm like, okay. But it's said so matter-of-factly and so casually that I'm thinking, where does one go to get predator urine? It's not like you're going to walk up to a mountain lion and go, "Can I get a sample, please?" You know, like, that's not going to end well for you. So, and then I'm thinking maybe in America you can go into shops and buy predator urine. Can you imagine going up to the counter and going, "If you get any predator urine?" The guy behind the counter giving it the, "I've got some rare Jimmy Savile here." I don't think that's the kind of predator that'll scare off a groundhog. Scare me off now. Especially if you're a quadriplegic stuck in a bed. Anyways, regardless of that, let's crack on with this. This, well, what would you call it? It's a rumor, isn't it? Well, I tell you what, let's have a quick look at the troll room, see who's in. Shalene, Beats and Tapes. Who else we got? Dread Eye and Julie. It's all the usual faces. Come on out there if you're lurking people. No, there's not that many people lurking, but yeah, groundhogs. I did say groundhogs. I think it's an American thing. Would have to be, but yeah. So, so the rumor is basically that your Reform put up a lot of fake candidates. Now, as you know, on this show, we try and keep things simple, and we try and look for the simple explanation first. So, explanation number one: why? Why would Reform put out fake candidates? I can't think of a reason why they would do so. One, what would they do if the candidate won? Yeah, what would they do? Secondly, if they did that and got found out, that's a criminal offence. Somebody's going to jail. Them or the agent. So, you know, the person that put forward the name would go to jail. Thirdly, it would completely destroy any credibility of the party. So, Reform has nothing to gain by putting fake candidates up. Does it? And I mean, if you can correct me, then fine. But I can't see any reason for Reform to put out fake candidates. I can't see any reason for the Labour Party to put out fake candidates. I mean, what would have happened if the Labour Party had put some fake candidates out and a couple of them had won? What would you do then? So the whole premise is ridiculous. You know, you got to fill in the nomination forms. You've got to put up the deposit. I've never actually stood for Parliament, so I don't know if you need to have some kind of proof of ID or whatever. But just because someone doesn't have a social media following, or, you know, you can't find them on the web, doesn't mean they don't exist. I mean, there's loads of people that you can't find on the web. So that whole thing's that's just ridiculous. It really is. Oh, so yeah. So I can't understand why Reform would do it. I can't understand why anyone else would do it. I certainly couldn't understand why the Tories would do it. So the only people that would seem to have anything to gain from it would be people that really, really don't like the Tories and want to take as many votes away from them as possible. And that isn't necessarily Reform, you know. Because as I said, if Reform put up a candidate, and let's face it, they came second in quite a few, you know, constituencies. What if they'd won? And people are going on about, you know, it's been proven. Just because you can't find somebody on social media doesn't prove it. And you know what? If you're making the claim that these are not real people, then you have to prove it, because that's an extraordinary claim. and it's up to the person making the claim to prove it. It's not up to Reform to prove they were real people. It's up to you to prove it. Yeah, people are all over Twitter claiming that this is all the usual suspects, claiming that it's they've put up a stack of fake candidates. Even Adams down that rabbit hole. There's no trace of this person on social media. Yeah, okay. There's no trace of your wife on social media either, is there? So I mean, the whole thing's ridiculous. It really is. I don't find it particularly. I don't find the argument particularly convincing, and I've not yet seen any proof. Because just because someone doesn't have a social media presence doesn't mean they're not a real person. They do, Shalini. I think you're right. I think people just need a conspiracy for everything these days. It's like everything is a conspiracy, and everybody's very quick to judge, even Useless. He's out tweeting about this Russian missile that targeted the children's hospital. Well, it would appear that it's been much like the Crimea thing. It's probably been a defensive missile shot down an incoming missile and it's fallen short. Which, if you're going to shoot down the enemy's missiles, they've got to land somewhere. I mean, if you want them to hit your military targets, don't shoot them down. If you want them to hit civilian targets, shoot them down. Because, with the best will in the world, you're not going to stop them hitting something. And once it's over a city and you're firing at it, it is coming down somewhere. So if they targeted the children's hospital, I think they'd have killed more than 2 people, don't you? Really. And oh boy, the videos, that is some Palestinian level propaganda going on there. It's just, it's pretty poor, pretty damn poor. They've got like a conga line passing a brick from one to another. Guy with a bright red stain on his white coat. Blood, and the sun is beating out the sky. Blood doesn't dry red. Just doesn't do it. I've seen enough blood in my time to know that it dries a very, very kind of rusty coloured shitty brown. Doesn't stay red for long. Yeah, don't put ideas in heads. Right, so see this chap beside me, this fine looking AIMP. This was the brainchild of Steve Endicott, an entrepreneur who lives in Rochdale but maintains a house in Brighton. So he's got a holiday home in Brighton, and he decided to put himself up as a candidate, and he was going to use AI Steve as his avatar to answer questions when he's because he wouldn't be there. So he's gonna put Steve up on a website in Brighton so the residents could ask AI Steve questions, and he wouldn't really need to do anything apart from go into the House of Commons and put in the occasional vote if he got elected. Thankfully, he didn't. It's just like, who dreams up these ideals? But we're back to, if you'd put up a false candidate, what would you do if you got elected? Because somebody's got to turn up to vote. Somebody's got to turn up to probably get yourself sworn in as an MP and all this. So what are you going to do? How are you going to fake it all? Because you get found out and you'll end up in the jail. And your party will be completely discredited, and you would never have a voice again. So it's not. Think about it, people. It's freaking nonsense. Nobody's got anything to gain. Least of all, the Reform Party. They knew they weren't going to win, but they've done really well, and they're targeting the next general election. And obviously, they'll have a lot more time, so they will be targeting it. But nobody has anything to gain from putting out fake candidates. I just think the whole thing's a complete nonsense. And for people to start believing this, it's a bit early in the day for a conspiracy theory around the election. The election's been rigged. I mean, it's like UNN as well. How can you not see the French election was rigged? Well, yeah, it's rigged in that the two parties that were losing decided to withdraw candidates from the seats where one of them was stronger, so the other one would withdraw the candidate, therefore giving themselves a better chance of getting more votes than the the far right party of Le Pen, and being able to form a coalition, which is exactly what happened. That's not rigged. That's tactics. That's what they call it, tactics. So yeah, I find myself getting increasingly disillusioned with the people on Twitter. They're either completely off their rocker, or they're all lefties. And why are there so many lefties on Twitter? Weren't they all supposed to leave when Elon Musk bought it? I don't understand this. The place is full of lefties. And people, stop bleating about people appearing on your timeline. You don't have a timeline. It's you. Nobody gives a shit. You get a stream of consciousness from people coming by. If you choose to read it, then read it. If you don't want to read it, don't. You have very little say in what the algorithm's going to throw at you, you know? So fucking suck it up. It's not your timeline. Fuck's sake. If you went in and ticked, I only want, if you went in and ticked, I only want tweets from blah, 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 or those following, right? Then fair enough. But no, if you're taking tweets from people you don't know, then it's not your timeline. It's just a fucking diatribe of shite. Get used to it, because that's all you get on Twitter. In fact, I think the average intellect must be being reduced by going on Twitter. I think it's affecting me. I really, either that or it's age. Everybody's a bunch of knobs, Shalini. That's the problem. See, and don't get me wrong. See all these people on all these other social media platforms like Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and even Telegram and what's Trump's thing called? Who cares? Nobody cares. But they're all just echo chambers. You just attract people that they want to hear your point of view. You want to hear their point of view. You might as well go and have a mutual session. It's a circle jerk, isn't it? I mean, that's all it is, an intellectual circle jerk. If you want to actually find out stuff, you've got to be prepared to listen to people you don't like. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but there are loads of people out there that you don't like. So listen to them and then think, okay, I'm glad I don't follow that person, but they make something that I can make fun of on LinkedIn. So it really is it's a bit ridiculous. But the conspiracy theories around politicians and stuff, it's like, oh my God, I mean, yeah, Labour's going to make an arse of what they're doing here. They've started already, haven't they? They've started already. What have they done? They've stopped the ban on onshore wind. So does that mean more wind turbines or something? The whole thing's just ridiculous, I mean, it's not cheap, it's not effective, it's not reliable. It's just and it's an eyesore. I can't see the point in it. Just build a nuclear power station, for God's sake. One nuclear power station. Do the job of all these wind farms. And you know what? That works even when the wind's not blowing. Because when the wind's not blowing and it's winter, you got to keep the blades turning or the things freeze up. Blair needs to go and I can't really say much about Blair, can I? Because anything I do say will be construed as wishing harm on someone, wouldn't it? But yeah, Blair. It's like Obama, these people never go away, they just hang about like a bad smell and keep getting in the way and putting forward their peculiarly bad and obnoxious, line of politics, the people that are supposed to be in power. And it's not, that's not even a proper term, is it? In power. You should actually, they should be in service because they're supposed to be serving you and they're not. Because they're obviously not. They're serving themselves. And they're not representing the majority of the people in Britain, are they? Because they only got, what, 35% of the electorate vote? So, democracy's screwed. Proportional representation wouldn't fix that. You would still have the minority of the people making the majority of the decisions, because even with proportional representation, you end up with the SNP making an unholy alliance with the Green Party. In fact, that gives you the worst of both worlds. One, you've got a single issue party that doesn't have a clue how to do anything. And then you've got another single issue party, which is the Green Party, that's just hell bent on destroying all technology and any kind of progress that we would like to have in the modern world. So you end up with a ruling elite that just wants to grind everything down, and that's all they've done. That's what they've done for the last 13 years. So you can imagine why people just get fed up with the SNP. And while I'm on the point of the SNP, Hamza Yusuf did say that this would be a de facto election, and if the SNP won in Scotland, right? If the SNP won the general election, then it'd be a clear mandate to go and seek independence. Well, you didn't win. You lost 38 seats. You've now got 10 or 9 or whatever it is. So nobody wants independence. That's a clear sign that nobody wants independence. So independence is dead and buried. Go away, SNP. Just go away. And the Labour government have turned around and said, no, we won't be building any council houses, so that's not our job. Councils and public can do it together, but we're not building council houses. Yeah, there you go. The Communist Party doesn't want to provide housing for you. Well, and then people are getting on about, the left won in France. I mean, and remember, this is the far left and the communists, because the communists are part of that little enclave. That's it. So they're part of it. And remember, some people reckon Stalin killed as many as 60 million people of his own country. 60 million people of his own country. They weren't even at war. Right? So he makes the Austrian painter look like an amateur, doesn't he? And remember, Keith was a Trotskyist, a Trotskyist communist. I mean, I posted some stuff today that he'd written when he was younger, and yeah, he was pretty far left. He wasn't a centrist at all. Maybe he's mellowed in his old age, but I don't think so. I think they're all just. It just makes me kind of sick. I just can't stand them. But all this conspiracy nonsense around elections just is futile. It's futile. What you hoping that the election's found null and void and it needs to be rerun? Wouldn't make any difference, would it? Still get the same result. Labour would still win. They do reckon though that up to 400,000 people didn't get to vote because of the postal votes didn't get out in time or something. Up to 400,000 people didn't get to vote because of photo ID, and there were people coming out of the polling station when I was up there the other day that had been turned away because they didn't have photo ID. The thing is, they'll say that it was communicated, but is it really communicated to you? Because if you don't watch TV and don't have a social media presence, imagine that there might be people out there that do that. You wouldn't have a clue. You wouldn't have a clue that you needed photo ID. I mean, you don't need a polling card. You get a polling card through the thing, but you don't actually need that to go and vote. But you do need photo ID now. Oh, I still can't. I still don't understand why we can't just. Why can't everyone be issued with a unique number or a unique code? I mean, you can get it on an Amazon gift card. How hard can it be? Send everyone an Amazon gift card and get them to vote that way. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, yeah, I think you're. Well, who's they? Who are they, Rob? That's the thing. Who are they, right? So who's dividing us? Who wants us to fight? So if you're saying that they want us to fight, who's the people that are coming up with these ideas then? Because they seem to be the people that were part of the same group when we were, looking at. Well, I don't think we need to wear, face covering type conversations. So are they now against the population? I'm not quite sure. Oh, it's not the press that's coming up with a. It wasn't the press that's coming up with a reform thing. It wasn't them that started it. It started in the depths of Twitter and Telegram and all that, didn't it? Yeah, it's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. It's like, oh my god. I just, oh, I don't. Let me see if there's something else we can talk about because I've kind of done that to death, and it's boring me now. To be fair, what else have we got? Let's have a look. How about this one? So apparently there was the man caught um, spiking his female date's drinks with Viagra, right? And this wasn't for any effect that the Viagra would have on them if they were a woman. This was to make sure they were a woman. Because he said, I wanted to make sure they didn't get boners. Because you never know these days. He's got a point. Oh, dear, oh dear. It's not good, is it? Oh. Right, what else we got? What else we got? Oh, have you seen the new the plague vaccine that's out? So we're having trials of the plague vaccine. I didn't think the plague was I didn't think the plague was really a big deal these days. I didn't think many people got the plague. I thought, improved hygiene and sanitation kind of did away with the Black Death. And because we'd had the plague well before we had vaccines and we managed to survive it. So the first phase of the trial will see at least 40 healthy 18 to 35-year-olds receiving the jab developed by the UK scientists behind the AstraZeneca COVID vaccine. What could possibly go wrong then? Because that's a well-known and useful vaccine that's used all over the world. Oh, wait. Maybe it isn't. Well, anyway. Yeah, good luck to the guinea pigs indeed. Now, here's one. Here's one. Shoot yourself in the foot, Sophie Corcoran. I'm looking at you because this is Femi level stupidity. What she's actually tweeted here. She says, "Imagine having 400 plus elected MPs and having to still appoint people to the Lords to make them ministers, as the calibre of your MPs is so bad." David Cameron. The stupidity is strong in that one. The red hair dye must be going to her brain. That's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And speaking of Femi, he is the gift that does keep giving, isn't he? Because Femi comes out with, if all the votes had counted equally in 2019, we'd still be in the EU. Hold on a minute. Hold on. 2019 was what? What was 2019? Is he talking about a referendum? Because all the votes in referendum are counted equally. I think he meant 2016. Is that not when the referendum was? But anyway, they are counted equally in a referendum. Femi's an idiot. Oh, so somebody, the person operating the president's brain is missing's Twitter account said Joe, sometimes known as Joe Biden, but it's not Joe Biden that's tweeting this because it's too coherent. Let me say this as clearly as I can. I'm the sitting president of the United States. I'm the nominee of the Democratic Party. I'm staying in the race. Yeah, okay, we'll see. We'll see how long you keep going. See that? Do you remember Angela Rayner when she arrived in Downing Street to go and take up her offer of being the deputy PM and Minister for Housing? I think it was. Do you remember that suit she was wearing, the clown suit, the green clown suit? Do you know how much that cost? So I have it here, right? So the Virgin Wool Blend wide leg trousers are £225. And the Me and EM cotton blazer is 325 of your English pounds. That's quite a lot of money. That's 550 quid. 550 quid on something that looks that bad. I just can't believe it. I just can't believe that anyone would think about spending that kind of money. Well, there we go. It's been a short one tonight, I think. I think it's been a short one. Is there anything? What have we got in the tweets? Let's have a look. Oh, sorry, the chat. Let's see what we've got in here. Rob Bruce still recovering after a 0400 hour election night with the lads. What a night. Yeah, it was all right. It was all right, Rob. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about the plague. It's just wild. Flu COVID mixed together in last year's flu jab. Yep. Yeah. Well, they tend to do this kind of thing. They try and give you as much as they can in one go. What's all this? 8% of voters did not vote Keir. What? Well, right. So, how many people voted? So the turnout was only what 51% or something. Was the turnout was really low? Was it 60%? Yeah. So let's say the turnout was 60%. So only 60% of the electorate voted. So off that 60%, 35% of them voted for Labour. It's not a high proportion, is it? So that's just over half of the 60%, which is a third. Yeah. That's usually how it goes. Most people get into power with between 33 and 35%, sometimes 40% on a good day. Not many people get more than 50% of the vote. Worse weather, rain today. Well, we had a lovely day today. It was very, very warm. I was just tweaking the doors I fitted the other day, and the sun was beating in. I had to give up because it was just too hot. I'll go back and finish them off tomorrow. But it was just absolutely beating in the doors and just too hot. So, it's been lovely here today. I don't even know what the temperature is, but it was very warm and pleasant outside. But tomorrow, apparently, it's to be quite poor. I think it's to rain tomorrow. 15 degrees now. 15 degrees. That's 15 degrees for July in Scotland. That's about right. Yeah. It never gets that hot here. Yeah. Yeah, we have had good weather. It was lovely. Nigel had some great results. Nigel. Well, he got 5 MPs, yeah, and lots of seconds. So yeah. Well, tough. So Julie's saying the Gwent councillors are kicking off about the number of home educators. So well, if you can't provide a good service, then why wouldn't one take it into your own hands? Because let's face it, what are schools but indoctrination zones really? They're indoctrination camps to make people into good little slaves, and it seems to work, doesn't it? It really does seem to work. I mean, some of the things that people that come out of school are coming out with these days is just absolutely ridiculous. It's just, and you think back and you think, was I ever that stupid? And if you're truthful, the answer is probably yes. Yes, you were pretty stupid, and your parents probably looked at you or your elders or whatever and would think, you know nothing, mate. You know nothing. You just go on, keep doing what you're doing and see how far it gets you. And eventually you do learn and you start to take cognizance of the fact that maybe sometimes the elders know a little bit more than you give them credit for, and sometimes you should follow what they're saying. And yeah, so sometimes it comes to them, sometimes it doesn't. But I saw a video on Twitter today of a party celebration of Pride on one of the USS. It was like the USS Making Bacon or something. It was a kind of weird name for a ship, but anyway, it was a U.S. Marine Corps ship, amphibious landing type thing. And I'm thinking, oh my god, the Russians must be pissing themselves laughing when when the West puts up stuff like that. It's just so weak and so ineffectual. And you see not the Japanese, but you see the Chinese and the Koreans and the Russians when they put their military stuff out. It's all pure hardcore, they're not mucking about. There's none of this namby pamby, I'm cutting up a cake and giving you a slice of cake that's coloured like a rainbow. And I've got a little badge on my little uniform and I'm mincing about like a little, doesn't cut it. That's not what you want the military to be like. You want them to be fearsome, don't you? They really should be fearsome, because if you're not scared of them, why are your enemies going to be? Yeah? Rob, you hear Greenbelt housing, yeah, but the Labour's not building any houses, so I think all they're doing is freeing up land for the private sector to build houses on, and then they'll probably tax them or whatever. More China Russian businesses come to UK? Probably not. Probably not. Ready for ID cards? Blasphemy laws? You can't have blasphemy laws. You just can't. Not in this country. If you have blasphemy laws in this country, that's it. Game's a bogey. They don't seem to be doing anything to stop people coming into the country on the southern borders. So while I would never say that anyone should take anything into their own hands, if you lived in the southern borders, what would you do? What would you do? Yeah. Yeah, what could you do? Don't know. What could you do? There's some real retards in that. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. There's some really thick people in the American, the American, the American legal system. Not legal system, political system. Republican Pramila Jayapal, I think. There are more guns than people in this country. 120 guns for each person. It's time for gun reform, period. Yeah. think you didn't pass arithmetic in school, did you? I really think you didn't. Whoa. Sorry about that. Oh. Oh, excuse me, I'm quite tired. I had a very bad night last night. I didn't sleep well at all. I think we might call it a night. I think we might call it a night. Who's replacing Sleepy Joe? Well, I think Newsom as well. I can't. There was that Twitter rumor about Scott Kelly, and that would have been a good one, because Scott Kelly has got an inbuilt spare, hasn't he? Because he's got an identical twin brother, and they were both astronauts. And they are identical twin brothers. Just one's got a moustache. But if you needed a stand-in president, you could just shave the tash off the one or put a tash on the other one. Harris is already running, so they're not going to run Harris the ticket. They can't. I mean, nobody likes Kamala Harris. The Democrats don't like Kamala Harris. The voters don't like Kamala Harris. Nobody likes Kamala Harris. It's like, yeah, I'm trying to think. Is there anyone that's hated as much in this country as Kamala Harris is in hers? Oh. Right. Kennedy is. He isn't. He's soiled goods, isn't he? Really, Kennedy. I mean, he's not. He's not going to get anywhere. And much as he makes sense on a lot of occasions, he makes complete nonsense on others, which doesn't help. And then there's the whole voice thing. You just don't sound presidential, mate. I'm sorry. Nobody's going to vote for you because you don't sound like it. So it's a shame, but he's just too out there. I think he's just too out there. If he toned down it's like Gareth Icke actually, because people keep posting bits of Gareth Icke when he's talking about all they're trying to do is divide us. We are one, and they're trying to divide us as we fight each other. But we're not one. We never have been one, because there are people out there who are set against you, regardless of what any government or anything else tells them. They are set against you. And you will never be one with these people. And if you think you can be, then you are severely misguided. And that's all these wet and woolly liberals who are like, oh, come to our country, you lovely people. And then the next thing you know, some guy's in jail for having unlawful sex with a young girl, and 12 days later in Germany, he gets back out and does it again. Because he hasn't why has he only been in jail for 12 days? So he gets back out and then does it with a 13-year-old. Oh, well, okay, that's better. She's a year older. Oh, you can't deal with people like that. You got to put them away. You really do. For a substantial amount of time. Anyway, right. What time is it? It's 21:40. Yeah, I think we've had enough. We'll do the old. We'll try the spinny wheel thing and see what happens. So we'll do the wheel of luck and see if we get something different. We'll clear the winner and we'll spin. What are we getting tonight? It's determined, isn't it? It's always ruthless for some obscure reason. And it is only a quarter of the pie. But yeah, we'll go with ruthless tonight. So if you like these little impromptu evenings that we have together, then please feel free. What happened there? Why didn't it? It should have transferred. It didn't transfer. Oh, it did transfer. Right. So if you feel like it and you want to support us, then the free choice is like, share, subscribe, because you don't have to pay anything, and it gets more eyes on the channel, and you can put it out there and share it about, so as more people will hopefully come and watch us. If you are feeling flush, then by all means drop us a donation at ko-fi.com/chasing descent, or paypal.me/chasing descent, or join the channel from as little as 99 pence a day, and you get some benefits, one of which is you get to see all the shorts that have been what would you call it, scheduled, because there's an extra 2 went up today, so members get to see them before they play. They only play one a day, but members get to watch them all in one go if they want. And then you can always do super chats and super chats. I don't really have any funny clips tonight, Rob, because it's not really been a clip show as such. I haven't really got. I mean, some of the funniest things are that this is the hottest tune on record. 13th month of consecutive record-breaking temperatures. I mean, we are boiling. We are boiling. Hold on, it's only 15 degrees here. Anyway, yeah. So, nah, I don't really have much in the way of funny clips, mate. Don't have much in the way of funny clips at all. I'll have some the next time, maybe. Well, I've been speaking to Ed about the rabbit hole, so we'll have a rabbit hole on. What's it called? Thursday with Ed. That'll be good. Ben has put some stuff up on the Real Review. He was out at the London Dungeon and the what do you call it, the London Eye, and a couple of other places. He was being a tourist in London. So you can go and have a look at that, and I will be putting some stuff up on We Love F1 as well. What about that race though? Still gobsmacked over it. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, the Formula One Grand Prix yesterday. And I mean, I don't like Hamilton, but you got to feel for him. He did a great job, and he sat in the car crying. I'm like, oh my God, he's sitting in the car crying because he could barely talk. You could hear him on the radio. He could barely talk. He was that emotional. It's quite funny. But yeah, he did a good job. And we Lando did a good job. He wasn't happy though. He didn't like to lose. But then again, all these alpha males don't like to lose, do they? Especially Max. Max wasn't a happy bear after qualifying, but he looked a bit happier yesterday after coming second. Right. So as always, it's been great for you.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. They don't wanna see me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb, and I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up. Cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down, they wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt, they're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.